talk about developing programs.
Yes. So hopefully you guys are in the midst of choosing your schools and trying to narrow down your choices and using that PA program directory, because that can really, really help you. So one thing we wanted to note is that on the directory, we do not include developing programs because those programs are not accredited by the ARC-PA, right?
Hi, Alexis.
Yeah, hey. And so we just wanted to give you an idea about what developing programs are. And so what happens is every year programs say, hey, I want to be part, I want to have a PA program, I want to get accredited, and they have to submit this long application, and then the ARC-PA has to send people out, and they do what we call a site visit where they check everything and make sure everything's kosher. And then about 6 months later, they get the decision yay or nay, right? But if you can imagine, while they're waiting for that decision, they can't wait until like the day before classes start when they get a yes to go ahead and interview and all that kind of stuff. So what they do is they actually are in CASPA, these developing programs, and they're interviewing students, they're accepting students just like a regular PA program would, right? And the thing about this is developing programs, they want to do everything they can to actually get accredited, right?
They are very invested.
Yes, super invested, because it costs a lot of money to start up PA programs, and they have to do this big old multi-page thing saying we're going to do A, B, C, and D. So they really, really want to get accredited. So most of them actually do end up getting accredited, but there is no guarantee. It is up to the ARC-PA's decision at the very end of whether they get accredited. So a lot of people actually will apply to a few developing programs, and the reason for that is because the competition isn't quite as fierce, right?
Yes. So if you're less of a competitive applicant, consider applying to 1 or 2 developing programs.
Yeah. So the thing about developing programs is they're going to interview just like they any other program. You get a seat, you do your seat deposit, etc. The only problem is that you're taking a risk that if it does not get accredited, then they do refund your seat deposit, but you don't actually have a seat in a program anymore. And so that's rare that actually happens, but it does happen sometimes. Oh, hey. And so we just want to recommend that, like, if you think it's right for you, we've included a link to developing programs in the resources page on your course. And so if you want to go look, maybe you've got one in an area that you're really interested in. They typically have less competition because, again, there's no guarantee that they're going to be accredited. Typically, they have less people apply because, again, it's kind of an unknown. They don't have a PANCE pass rate. They don't have a lot of these things, this proof, that they're going to do X, Y, and Z. But it's a good place to kind of like have a fallback, like kind of a, okay, I'm super, super competitive for this developing program, so I think I'm going to apply to 1 or 2 of these. We do not recommend applying to just developing programs. No, right? No. But we recommend, like, hey, if you think it's right for you, adding 1 or 2 of these to your list. If you get accepted at a developing program and put down a seat deposit, and then you get accepted at another program, what do we recommend?
We highly recommend that you go to the accredited program that has some history under its belt.
Yeah, so it's okay. The only thing about that is you have to eat that seat deposit. So you don't get your seat deposits back. That's why it's a deposit. But between like one that's for sure is accredited and one that you get a seat in and it's not accredited yet, we always say go with the bird in the hand or whatever that saying is, bird in the bush, I can't remember. But so just if you're interested about developing programs, what they are, they're not ARC-PA accredited yet, but they have been, they're in the process enough. So by the time that they start their first class, they're either yay or nay. And so they've kind of gone through the first couple hurdles, and now they're just waiting to see if they can become accredited. And again, programs are going to do everything they can because they're super invested, as Katie said, into getting ARC-PA accreditation. But at the end, it's kind of up to the ARC-PA. So think about if developing programs are right for you. We included a link to them. Again, they're not ARC-PA accredited yet, but if they do get accredited, they will come on, when we update the spreadsheet every year, they will become provisionally accredited programs, right? Remember, provisionally means new. All right, so they'll become new next year, and then there'll be other developing programs, etc. All right?
We hope this helped, and you guys are amazing. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below, and yeah,
let us know if you have any other topics that we want to clarify or talk about. Okay, guys.
Bye.